Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are back. PGA Hub. You couldn't get rid of me, guys. From NHL to PGA, we're here. We're live. I brought myself a little friend here. You guys will know him there. This guy does a lot of action here at Pub Sports. Does the basketball, does college basketball. It's Conor Mac. What's going on, Conor?
What's up, Gogster? I'm ready to roll, man. After last week kind of hurt.
Yeah, it didn't go as planned.
Well, I played a few matchups and stuff, but for List to win, because I wrote it under my thing, I wrote Palmer, List, Glover, Snedeker, and Day. Look for those guys, and all of them just, List wins, Day, blew it, but he was right. They all played great, and I was like, fuck, I was just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was one of those weeks. I had List written down, too. I had top 20 on Zalatoris. And he almost wins, so it's just close. We're close, but no cigar. But this week, guys, it's very similar. Just going up the road to Pebble Beach, same POA greens. It's going to be really tight here, guys. It's I would almost say the fairways would be even tighter, more precision. You're going right off the ocean too. Like this is straight ocean course. A lot of elevation. Bunkers galore. I think you're going to be a good bunker player at this course. Small greens as well, similar to the last track. Distance control is going to be huge in my opinion here, Connor. They're going to have their controlled irons coming in because with the wind and with small greens, that's very, very easy to miss a green. Very easy to miss a green. I can tell you that from experience, not off an ocean, but just off of a bay at that matter. But yeah, I think it's going to be greens in regulation, Connor. They're going to be huge. Accuracy off the tee, you got to be in the fairway, and then just a hot putter. Putting's not going to be really that huge, in my opinion, buddy. Just because the greens are so small, it's not like they're gonna. If they hit the green, it's like all right, you're gonna have like I was saying last week, 20-footer, 15-footer, maybe the odd 30-footer, but really small greens. You're gonna want to have a good short game, in my opinion. Bunker. The rough doesn't look that easy either. You're going to have a good short game. So very similar to last week, but I think you're going to have even more of accuracy, both off the tee and with your irons.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, with the putting, it's just get it on there. It's not getting, these aren't fast as all, these aren't Augusta so with these greens, just get it on there. Putt it can get bumpy in the afternoon, if it's hot out, but it all depends the weather in there. It shouldn't be too. It should be nice. So kind of overcast most mornings, and should be good. There should be some good scoring. Absolutely. Fair course, great course. Obviously, the U.S. Opens have been here. Classic Pebble Beach. So
yeah, in the video games, there's our guy Billy. What's going on, Billy? How you doing, brother?
There he is. Billy Demon.
Some personal life stuff, Big Show said he wanted to start the show. I was doing some personal life stuff.
Hey, you know me. I got the stupid cutoff time, unfortunately, by 2:00. You guys can run the show after if I do have to go. Just going a little more into the course here, guys. It's a pro-am, so there's going to be a bunch of celebs. Everyone's matched up with a celebrity. If it's a musician, if it's an actor, you name it. So the first 2 days they got the celebs going. And then the last day on Saturday, it's going to pretty much be top 60 or better make the cut. And then they're going to be going to Pebble Beach, the course we're talking about for the next 2 days. But the first two are going to be at Spyglass in Monterey. It's a short course. Those are both 7,000 yards or 6,900. And Pebble is also 6,912. So it's a shorter track here, guys. Only Shot Tracker is going to be at Pebble as well. There's some notables here that got some exemptions. Burnmeister and Minwoo Lee from the European Tour. These guys are some names you might want to look out for. Deep off the tee, used to a lot of wind, a lot of these conditions. So those are some notable exemptions. Some of the past champs here returning. Sorry, not past champs, but players that have been doing well. That's Berger, Cantlay, Spieth, and even Snedeker, who holds the 72-hole record at this course. So enough of that. Billy, what do you got to say there, brother? How you been? It's been a while, man. How you doing, buddy?
Man, just because I'm not on the show doesn't mean I'm not.
It's just good to have your presence back, though,
It's just good to be in the presence of two people that I respect that are better than me at golf betting, and I just listen to what you guys say.
Hey, man, I wouldn't put yourself short by any means there. You were on with Seamus Power before he's kind of hitting all these top 10s, top 20s, and he's got a great shot this week.
That's from Connor over the summertime. Shouts to Connor. July.
Shout out to Connor, too. There you go. Connor giving it out, yeah, with power. You guys, I didn't bring these two guys on for nothing. All right, guys, these guys know their golf. It's not just anyone off the street. These are two experts in golf, in my opinion. So, what do you got to say?
Real quick, we got to get Billy's. I wanted to get into yours, Gogster. I know we're short on time. We got to have Billy on as much as you can, Billy. We need your fantasy kind of input. I don't do a ton of it. So we need guys on here to do it. So I'm glad to have you back, my guy. But go ahead, Gogster.
Gogster, before you start, in my time off, I've reconstructed things where I have a daily fantasy court. So you can go over your 5-pack, and then I'll go over the daily fantasy court and the reason why I'm betting these people.
Perfect. Absolutely. All right, let's get right into it here, guys. There's a little bit of stats I want to go over, though. Greens and regulation and accuracy. Some top players last week in those categories. First one's going to be accuracy. Thompson, McNeely, Putnam, Knox, Hoagie, Reevy, Neesmith. Greens and regulation, you had Power, Cantlay, Knox again, Berger, Neesmith again, and McNeely. Those are three guys that are going to be starting.
I like the Knox.
Yes,
I'm the main guy had circle.
I got more than the 5-pack too, there, guys. We got an 8-pack. I got a lot of bombs on this one. Not so much bombs, but just we don't have.
8-pack. That means you got top great leaders, man.
Yeah, we got a lot of beers in the cooler, Billy. You know, we're not messing around. We're thirsty. We're thirsty tonight. So let's start it off here. First one's going to be Maverick McNeely. This guy grew up on this course, guys. Number 16, I'm pretty sure it was. If he's going to win a course, it's going to be this one, in my opinion. He had a really good Sunday too. Finished off just with a hotter putter than what it was the first 3 days. If this guy can keep his putter hot, he was top in greens and regulation and top in accuracy last week. This is the time you want to be backing certain golfers, and Maverick McNeely, guys, in my opinion, is one of them. I got him at 28-1. He's going to start off the 8-pack, 28-1 here. Maverick McNeely, I think he's got where are we here? I think he's got a hell of a shot. Sorry, guys, we got so many damn notes here. But yeah, Maverick McNeely, 28-1. I'm also going to add him top 20 plus 150. Great shot at getting top 20 as well. And he's also in two of my matchup bets. We have him over Rose and him over Power as well. Rose, he has won this event in the past, playing good golf, but a guy like Maverick McNeely, I think, is going to win this. Just almost give me pretty much almost anyone, in my opinion. As one of the guys would say, I don't give a fuck who it is. What are we going to say, Billy?
He's in my pack too.
Yeah, Maverick, absolutely.
Shout out to Dan Kelly. Not to interrupt you. He said, "Is this the everyone on Maverick McNeely show?" That's the reason why Gordon's giving it out as his first fucking play.
You know what? You know who I originally had, Danny? I had Seamus Power, just going off his stats and how
hot he was. My 5-pack.
Yeah, you know, just how hot he was. But I was looking more into it, and you know what? His putter in the past, he hasn't been putting too well. And he's course history, exactly. And McNeely, guys, it's just, I know it's so like, oh, the guy's blah blah blah. He's lived at this course. He's grew up here. It's so obvious, but 28-1. It went down to 25 there, Dan, too, as you probably already know that, buddy. I have to have McNeely because if he wins and I don't have this guy, then I better not have a balcony because we might have some problems.
See you.
Anyways, next one on the card here, guys. We're going to get into Cameron Tringali. This guy's just been playing really good golf of late. Cameron Tringali. I'm going to bring him up here just 1 second here. And the famous old data golf, as you know well, Billy. Yeah, so he was T3 last week. It's his approach and his around the greens. Very, very strong putting and around the greens. He didn't make the cut at the American Express, but he bounced back this week. Cameron Tringali, guys. I think he's got a great shot, fellas.
I agree.
His what else here? His off the tee. That's going to be the one thing. Just looking back to even last year, his off the tee would be his one issue you could bring up. His accuracy. So if he's keeping the ball in the fairway, if he's smooth off the tee, which last week he that was his only area he didn't gain as many strokes. But yeah, I think Cameron Tringali 30-1. Also top 20 plus 160, and we're also having a matchup against Seamus Power with Tringali over Power minus 101. You gonna say something there, brother?
No, somebody was actually texting me word for word. I didn't get your golf picks before you went on the show. You know what I told them? Well, watch the fucking live video because Goji's the hottest golf bettor in the PGA Tour industry right now.
Hey, I appreciate it. You know, I tell my friends too, all the guys at work, I say, guys, if we're talking all the golf, tune into Pub Sports, honest to Christ. You know, we give out winners here. Shout out to Cameron Smith. Anyways, let's keep it rocking and rolling here. Number 2 was Cameron Tringali. Number 3 is going to be Matthew Fitzpatrick. I just think he's too strong of a golfer in this field. Next to Cantlay and really Berger, I think Fitzpatrick has got the next third best game in this whole competition. And I got him at 40-1. I believe he's down to 35-1 right now. Fitzpatrick, again, a really solid off the tee player. He has no problems here. Fitzpatrick off the tee, just bringing him up here, guys. He hasn't had much golf, though. That's the only problem. He hasn't played at all this year. Last start was December 5th, so that could be a bit of a not an issue in my opinion, but something you want to look at. Last year, though, he won one event in the European Tour, but he was knocking on the door nearly every event here in the PGA, T17, T5, T11, T10. So this guy's a really strong golfer. His only actual but something he needs to maybe dial in on would be his approach. Strong off the tee. He's got a pretty good putter for the most part. It would just be his approach has been a bit up and down. So if he's got a dialed approach here, don't be surprised if Fitzpatrick lifts this trophy. Is right there. T20 as well, plus 190. Number 4 is
you said T20 with plus 190. I'm actually writing down what you're betting because I'm probably going to tell you.
Yeah, I love it. I think the price is decent. He just hasn't played, like you mentioned. So that's the only.
And Big Show talked about this last night in Discord.
Yeah. Who was that? Big
Show, the man that's behind the scenes right now. I had him written down as one of the plays in my pack because that's what Big Show was telling me he was on.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Show in our Discord there, guys. Get on our Discord, message Big Show on Twitter, and he can get you in there. We got everyone from our basketball, NHL, NBA, you name it. It's all there. So, check out our Discord. Number 4, though, Kevin Kisner. This is just a guy who suits this course, in my opinion. He's playing really good golf. Kevin Kisner, shorter guy, doesn't hit the ball as far off the tee, but when you're dealing with a course that's under 7,000 yards, that don't matter at all, really, in this field. Really good putter of late, too. At Century, he was T8, a really hot putter. And then at the Sony, he was also T3. That was on Bermuda, but he's playing really good golf right now. His accuracy has been dialed. Approach has been hot the last 2 rounds, almost like a horse coming into his third form cycle. This would be his third tournament of this year, and I think he's leading in the right direction. T3 last week at the Sony. Really good around the greens, great putter. Played this course plenty of times. He's a veteran here. He's also T20 is plus 220 on Kevin Kisner, and he's also 50-1 guys right now on Kiz. So hasn't won in a while, a very long time actually.
He had one of the hottest forms in the month of January throughout the first 2 tournaments that I was on the show for. So trust me, we might not have been live betting every day, but we still go on PGA Tour leadership thing at the end of every day and still look at the data golf thing. Kevin Kisner's putter is hot right now, and his putter is related to his mental because in his personal life, that motherfucker does a lot.
Exactly. Isn't that the truth? It's kind of like a thing. If the best part of your game is doing really well, then it's kind of like the rest slowly start to fall into place, guys. And right now, his putter.
Great Twitter follower.
Great Twitter follower. Great guy to have around with. Love to play around with Kevin Kisner.
Yeah, great guy.
Get ready.
Podcasts, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Crack a few beers with him.
I would, if I ever met Kevin Kisner in person, not to cut you off, I know because of time purposes, I would say to Kevin Kisner before I ask for a picture with him, I need to buy you a drink.
He might even ask you to buy him a drink. He say, "Listen here, buddy, I need a drink before you start anything off." But Bailey there says plus 675. Yeah, I think Kisner's got a great shot here. His accuracy's been really dialed. Distance doesn't matter. He slowly gets better as he gets towards the greens. Kevin Kisner, in my opinion, guys, top 20. I really like that one, plus 220 and 50-1. Why not? Hasn't won since he won 2021, and the last time was 2017. So he's definitely itching to get back on the leaderboard, the lift a trophy here. So let's get into number 5 here. This is one I just kind of gut feel. Mito Pereira, guys. Not a lot of stats back a lot of Mito Pereira, but this guy he's deep and he's for the most part pretty damn accurate. You don't have a lot of stats off this guy just because he came from the European or from the Corn Ferry, but Mito, he T29 at Houston RSM, which was last year, T29, and then T25 at the Farmers, which is his first tournament back, and he looked really good. That's kind of the main reason why I want to jump back on him. Approach plus 1.29. His putting was plus 0.89 at the Farmers, and that's POA. This could be certain guys, kind of like Maverick McNeely were saying, they just prefer putting on these type of surfaces. They, for whatever reason, it's even Patrick Reed. They like to perform, but they just perform better on these surfaces. Like I said, he's very deep off the tee. He's for the most part accurate. He was slightly below par last week in his accuracy, but his stats say this guy, he takes advantage of being very good off the tee. And his problem in the past has been his putting. T5 last year at the Barbasol just couldn't putt. And then T4 in the Olympics just couldn't putt as well. So he seems to like these POA. And I think a T20 as well. We got 9 T20s this week, quite a bit. But all nice plus money, plus 240 on Mito Pereira, guys, 60 to 1 as well. He's gonna be number 5 on the 8-pack this week. Number 6, Lucas Glover. He's 80 to 1. Lucas Glover, another guy who just plays really well. He's a veteran kind of player too. He's been around for a long time, like talking like back when I was in high school days. Lucas Glover, 42 years old here. Again, won last year, but just starting to play. He plays well at this time of the year. Was pretty much the best way to put it. Now, he didn't play this event last year, but going back to 2020 when he was playing really good golf, he was what was he? He was T50. But I still think Lucas Glover here, guys, is going to have a solid shot. Recently, he's shown me nothing wrong off the tee. He's been solid. It's his accuracy. It's his accuracy, guys. His accuracy is really good. Solid throughout this year, the last pretty much 2020 campaign, starting with the Sanderson. Just going to be his putter. And he hasn't lost really any strokes. It's just going to be around the greens. If he's got a nice approach game, I think Lucas Glover, guys, 80 to 1, T20 is plus 300. And I'm also taking him in a matchup over Matt Jones, plus 116. I got Lucas Glover, plus 116, a nice plus money spot over Matt Jones, who I'm going to be fading here. Number 7, guys, we got 2 more, and then I'll close it up and throw it to the guys. Russell Knox, he's 80 to 1. I also have him in a matchup over Matt Kuchar at plus 106. And Brian Harmon at plus 1.
Before you continue, is that for day 1?
No, this is the whole 72 hole matchup. Yeah, sorry, thank you, Billy. Yeah,
no, I just want to confirm that because I know people that have certain bankrolls. They degenerately bet on golf, and one of the biggest things is you have to look at it head-to-head if it's throughout 4 days or if it's just 1 day.
Yeah, and absolutely, yeah. Thank you for that, Billy. Yeah, all these are 72 holes. If I think these guys are going to win, I think they're going to be, top. I think they're going to be up there. You could lose on a couple of them, but for the most part, guys, you want to be taking plus money or at least, nothing too crazy in the juice in these matchups, and you can come out on top. Mikey, started everyone in the chat here. Mike M, Real Deal, Billy, Friedrich here, Big Show, Danny Kelly, as always. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Cashman. One more on the 8-pack here. It's going to be Neesmith. This was a late ad.
Fuck you, Goji. Fuck you. I have this written down as my TikTok that I'm going to post today as my daily fantasy value play from last week. I will talk about it when me and Connor break down our plays.
I'll be quick.
Agree with you on this. That is my boy, the inventor of fucking basketball, Matthew Naismith.
Let's go. Tell him. 28-year-old Matthew Neesmith is hitting distances. He doesn't hit the ball far, but he's very accurate. 17% in accuracy. He was one of the straighter golfers last week off the tee. What do I have here? Greens and regulation and accuracy. He made the card 37 of 42 fairways last week, guys, and then 40. What do we have here? 46 of 54 greens, and that's on a similar track to what it was last week. So this is a guy who's playing really well. It's going to come down to his putter, which was actually pretty good. He gained 1.13 strokes on the green, so you're getting a nice plus. What do we have here? T20 plus 375, and to win this tournament, 110 to 1. That's my bomb on the card. I'll throw it to the fellas here, but that's going to be the 8-pack this week, guys. Let's get that cash. I'll go over them one more time here really quickly before I go. McNeely, 28 to 1, Tringali, 30, Fitzpatrick, 40, Kisner, 50, Pereira, 60, Glover, 80, Knox, 80, and our guy here, Matthew Neesmith, at 110 to 1. Fellas?
Go ahead, Billy.
As Goji will always say, he is on his way out within the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you would like to follow Goji, make sure you follow him over on his Twitter. I don't know his Twitter account off the top of my hand, but I will gladly tell. I blindly tell Goji on Twitter because he is the hottest sports bettor for golf in the PGA Tour gambling community right now. If you want to do it by numbers, I'll let you know.
There's good ones out there too, but hey, I appreciate it, Billy.
By the time that we get in this show in July, Conor will be the hottest.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is all true. I tell Conor
we're all good here. We don't need to pump each other up. We're good. No, we're gonna hit one every once in a while. We're gonna try to do our best here to just get some
January, Goji was the best out of us three on the show, and I'm giving him his respect.
Yeah. Thank you, appreciate it. And you know what? Anyone in the chat who hits any winners here, I know. Shout out to Dan Kelly with Thigala. The last couple of weeks, he's been bringing up Thigala there, and
yes, I like it.
So shout out to Dan Kelly here as always for bringing up just these long shots, and he's looking at guys like Kitayama here and some of the players.
Real quick, I just want to say to Dan, he wrote down older, shorter hitters. He put, Vaughn Taylor, Ted Potter. I'm going with some other old guys that play good on the West Coast. So Pat Perez, Palmer, Charlie Hoffman. These are the guys that always play well over down here every year and have great top 20s, top 30s. So all those guys, even old man Stuart Sink, stuff like that, I think could be up there this week for top 20s, 30s. Especially some of these guys like Pat Perez. Like, he's a West Coast guy. He just seems to play well, on this kind of West Coast swing every year, and then you don't really hear from him.
Yeah, as long as he's not hitting the casino or he's not cruising too hard.
Yeah, he's a guy I'd like to hang around with too, Pat Perez.
FedEx Cup points because all the top 50 players in the world are playing out there in the real tournament.
Yes.
Real bread is made at overseas. Everybody that's over here in America playing this PGA Tour is only playing this tour event to get FedEx Cup points for the fall when nobody plays.
Yeah, it's going to be a good tournament. You know what? Just thinking off the top of my head, a playoff could very well happen again like last week. So
I think the playoff will happen.
Yeah. You know what? I do think it will happen too. So we'll see what happens, guys. Real Deal says 100-1 on Neesmith. Yeah, I still love that. Absolutely. I think he's a little sneaky play there, just how well he's playing last week, and got to ride the hot hand, guys. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. I got to run here. The fellows will take over. They'll finish up the show. Check me out, guys. Ego47_. I'll tweet out all my action here. We had an 8-pack top 20s and some matchup bets. And I also have a Make the Cut parlay. Let me get that out really quickly here, guys. Make the Cut parlay. Yeah. It was McNeely, Griffin, and Kisner at plus 192.
Can you tweet that?
Oh, yeah. We'll tweet out all this stuff, baby. You betcha. Right. McNeely, Griffin, and Kisner. Another one, too. I didn't actually bring this up. Thankfully, I remembered. Griffin is in my 9th play on the top 20. Another guy, Vegas guy, plays really well in the West Coast. Just kind of like another one. He's a top 20. Last week we had a top 20 on a couple golfers. One of them was Zalatoris, and he nearly won. So the only guy we don't have a top 20 on this week is Griffin. So if you guys want to throw a little money on him to win, I wouldn't blame you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and take care, fellas.
All right, Gogs. Later, bub.
Now, if you're watching this show on the replay, this is the part of the show where I go in with Conor. Me and Conor pull up the betting odds. Conor is a really good golf bettor. I'm a really good daily fantasy player. Me and Conor kind of combine our information together and make money. So, Conor, my alarm off. I'm going to start it off at the top because the first play of my pack is my favorite stud of the daily fantasy slate. And to be honest with you, bro, this goes back to what everything Goji was just saying, bro. Is Patrick Cantlay this week? We were talking about this pre-flop right before we went live on the show, and I was reading what his interview was today. You know what? The main thing that the interviewer asked him, they asked him was, if you don't like playing at Pebble Beach, then why are you here this week? He said, look, the answer's simple. If I don't like Pebble Beach so much, why do you think I'm here? The amount of money that we're talking about is very tempting. I think it's tempting for everybody, and I would deny that maybe that's not true. And I agree with that with Patrick Cantlay. He's the highest priced player in the field. I don't feel comfortable outright betting him. I would probably take a top 10 or a top 5, maybe a head-to-head, depending on whatever Conor likes. But he will be in my daily fantasy single entry lineup this week. I'm telling you that I think Patrick Cantlay has the chance to win outright at the top of the leaderboard. I'm pulling up the leaderboard at BetMGM right now. That is the main sponsor for the PGA Tour. Connor, what is your favorite place of this PGA Tour event? Pebble Beach, because this event, Goji talked about it a little bit in his course preview. My course preview is always a little bit different because I'm a daily fantasy player. This is one of the smallest greens on tour, so that's going to play towards players. The last 4 winners here have been Jimmy Walker, Teddy Potter Jr., Brent Snedeker, who have all had missed cuts their previous last 3 visits. If you know me as a golf bettor, I bet trend. The reason why I am going to throw out every trend is because this golf tournament is unlike any other golf tournament. The reason why PGA players don't like playing in this golf tournament
is because when you play in this golf tournament, in reality, if your tee time is at 8 o'clock or whatever, let's say the first tee time's at 8 o'clock, you're not walking off the golf course California time until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's a long ass day to be walking around, signing autographs every hole. You have amateurs that are in college hitting the ball off the fucking course out of bounds. They take probably +8. They're not even going to make it to the weekend, but because of their college status, they're in this tournament because this is a pro amateur tournament. So with that being said, Connor, for the people out there that are watching that have their notepad, now let's get into the betting.
Real quick, I want you to finish the rest of your fantasy. You can't go wrong. He's the number one. Let me just go over him real quick. He's the number one guy, obviously, in this field, and probably top 3 or 4 right now in the world. John Rahm, to me, is the best player, but, I mean, he's not far behind. That second half he had was unreal. But obviously, right below that, let me just go through the top 10. And do you have more to finish with your fantasy?
Nope, that's everybody in my top 10.
You're just doing a single? Okay. Berger, obviously, he won this last year. You're not getting much value with him. 10-1. I mean, 9-1 now. Earlier in the week, you might have got a better number. Spieth, Rose, these guys are 18, 20-1. Jason Day has a good week. He's around there. And you guys mentioned McNeely, Power. What?
Jason Day's been hot as hell, man. He has really good course history here.
He has very good course history here, yeah. Like Gogster mentioned, Justin Rose was 1 year before. He had a really good week last week. I had him to win. He had one bad round. It was Friday or Saturday. It was Saturday. God, it was Friday. Anyways, he came back Sunday decent, but he was short. He's played well here in the past. And then you guys went into the value. Gogster did. Like a McNeely, Power, Tringali, Fitzpatrick, Kisner. All these guys are like 25-1 to 40-1. But I'm going to look at some of these older guys. I wanted to give someone said in here, Tringali or Griffin. That one's tough. Value-wise, I like Griffin a little bit better if I was going to take it, trying to take a little bit of a shot with him.
If you're playing daily fantasy, write down all the players that Connor's talking about because all these players are going to be priced at a certain price tag on DraftKings. And if you're a 20 max player, honestly, I would put down every player Connor's talking about, and that should be your last guy in. And one of those people that Connor's talking about will be in the top 10. And that lineup is probably going to be your most profitable lineup.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that. But real quick, Kisner, he mentioned that, Gogster, these guys to win. I'm going to put everything out on Twitter as well here later today. I got a ton of college basketball to get to after this, but I'm going to post my winners, top 10s and 20s. And throughout the week as I go through, I've been doing matchups on the weekends, so I'll post those too real quick. I think there's value. I talked about it. Dan Kelly mentioned it. I think there's value in these older guys. So once we get past the top guys, Berger, Cantlay, you get in kind of that middle group, Tringali, McNeely, these savvy, kind of everyone's picking Power. Yeah, all those type guys. A guy who's played well just lately, you talked about Kisner, Ryan Palmer. I was kicking myself I didn't have him last week. Well, I was talking with Gogster in the back with Big Show. The 5 guys I wrote down all finished whatever I wrote down. Palmer, List, Day, Snedeker, Molinari, and they were all there, and I didn't play them like an idiot. I wrote it underneath. Watch it if you saw it on Twitter.
We were on. That's what happened last time. We discussed pre-flop about Seamus Powers because I said that was the one I was going to give out on my Twitter, and you gave me the confirm. And man, Connor, $12.50, almost maybe $500 that week, man.
Beautiful. Thigala, you mentioned. Andrew Putnam, a guy this is probably a good course for him. Lucas Glover, as Gogster mentioned. Scott Stallings is a decent record here.
Scott Stallings.
Scott Stallings, my guy. Scott Stallings. I'm bringing out some old guns this week. Some old man. He's not that old, but you mentioned Snedeker. He's kind of a look. He's played well as of late, too. Snedeker, streaky guy, can get hurt, but has won on tour, and he has won here before. He's a 90-1 to win it. You could get him at a great top 10, probably 750 or right around there. That's a great name, I think, there. Russell Knox, as Gogster mentioned, he kind of checked all the boxes on, like, the putting, everything here, like his accuracy. So he was one I had circled multiple times, was Russell Knox. I think last year, 1 second, Billy, he finished tied for 7th, 13 under, with Jason Day, Streelman. I don't know if he's in this year. Charlie Hoffman was tied for 7th. That's a guy I'm looking at, an older guy that can get hot kind of here on the West Coast. I mentioned Pat Perez, Stuart Sink. I think all these guys are going to be good. I'm going to post it out on Twitter. Let me run through some last few ones here, Billy. Let's keep on rolling through some bombs here. I think a guy like, they just haven't played like Fitzpatrick, Schwartzel, Billy. Man, read my mind down here. Yeah, Billy Frederick down here. Yeah. I just think it's value with Charles Schwartzel here. I think you're getting a ton of value with him, over 100-1 or more. You could throw a few bucks on that, but I think he'd be a great top 20, top 10 play this week. Just a good player who played better last year. Obviously, the guy won the Masters, had a dip, and he's had dips at times. But I don't know, just value-wise, I thought seeing his name down there, he could come by this week. That was a solid play. Let me just roll through a few more here. I was looking at some of those.
Joseph Bramlett for you. I personally don't watch the Korn Ferry Tour like live. I'll watch it on the replay.
I watched. Yeah.
Joseph Bramlett is probably one of the best stat fit models for this course. He currently ranks out 28 for greens and regulation. Your last play, Russell Knox, is grading out at number 8 for greens and regulation at this course.
I like it, Billy. Here's some other kind of Dylan Fratelli. I think the price is huge on this guy. For some reason, I've took him a bit in the last 6 months, and he's shown up in getting top 20s and 10s. He's 14 or 15-1 for a top 10 with Fratelli. Obviously, 200-1 or more to win the tournament. Ryan Moore, just another old guy who's won on tour. He's a West Coast guy here from UNLV. It's won, 6 or 7 times on tour. He's had a decent record here at Pebble Beach as well, Ryan Moore. Chappell, just some old Ryan Gay, Vaughn Taylor. We had Dan Kelly mention him. Just some older guys. These guys are Jimmy Walker, who's won here before. He's 250-1, 18-1, or 20-1 for a top 10. Maybe a Jimmy Walker plays well here. He loves this golf course. He's won here before. Just a bomb here of a price. Get him up there. Maybe get a top 20 here, top 10. Bill Haas. I've seen him play last week. He did decent. I think he finished top 20. So just throwing a few names out there for some bombs. Do you want to have any others here, Billy, that you want to go through before we dip?
Yeah, we only have 35 minutes for this show because Connor is on the NCAA show. So we're going to quickly go over my daily fantasy Billy's Birdies podcast. You can follow me over on TikTok, briz.billy, which is connected to my new Twitter account. So if you didn't write any of this shit down, or if you didn't even watch the video, you'll know what the daily fantasy 5-pack is going to be. Like Connor said, number 1 in the pack is going to be Patrick Cantlay. That's my favorite stud this slate. Matthew Fitzpatrick, that's going to be Big Show's favorite play. Me and Big Show were talking about this last night. Matthew Fitzpatrick, out of this astonished me, Connor. I did more research after me and Big Show talked. He has not won in America yet. I don't know why. I don't care why. The Englishman has not found success at AT&T Pebble Beach with a miscut in 2019 and a 60th place finish in 2022. He is the riskiest play of the week, but in reality, if you added in the European Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, and all the different tours, Matthew Fitzpatrick ranks in the top 20 this week, everything-wise. I will be playing Matthew Fitzpatrick. I will be probably living and dying on fantasy lineups with Matthew Fitzpatrick. That is probably my second favorite English golfer behind Danny Willett, because that's a personal thing. Number 3 was the daily fantasy play. It's going to be chalk. We're going to do more research throughout the day, me and Big Show, while he's doing the backstages for your show. We're going to figure out what this daily fantasy ownership is going to be on Maverick McNeely. Maverick McNeely was ranked in the top 5 for most tag players this week for daily fantasy. Yeah. And deservedly fucking so, dude. He thrives in California. One of the things that Conor was talking about is we're in the California swing of the PGA Tour. There's certain people in here that literally rank up all their FedEx Cup points in the Cali tournaments and don't play good for the whole entire rest of the year. So Maverick McNeely, as of right now, I don't think he will be that, but as of right now, for his career, he is that. AT&T Pebble Beach is where he shined the most. He has a T5 here and a second place finish here in 2 starts. He also finished T30 here or better in 5 straight starts, and he could be peaking at the right time. He's 19th this week in total strokes gained on the whole entire PGA Tour for all PGA Tour players, and he is from Porter Valley, which is down there in California, and he's looking to grab his first professional win. This is a type of tournament where I wouldn't bet pre-flop because somebody's going to win that we didn't even talk about or we might have talked about for 30 seconds. It's one of those type of tournaments. Seamus Powers was where I left off on this show as my favorite play. Granted, he has not played well since I have not been on the show, but I haven't been on the show, Connor. I'm saying Seamus Powers is going to come back this week. He has one of the best course history here at AT&T Pebble Beach. Power has finished no worse than T21 and has finished as high as T3rd here at Pebble Beach. And I think he goes right back to doing what he was doing right before I left going on the show. He was my play of the week that week for a reason. Any thoughts on some of the value plays I just said?
Well, yeah, Seamus Power, obviously he's my a guy I've been on for a long time now. He's I want to see him get it done, you know. He just I want to see him finish and win. I just I like him this week. I just don't love the price. Let's just put it that way.
Honestly,
in this field,
Connor, what you just said is correct. The reason why I always refer back to that outright win is because where I made my money that week was betting him top 10, top 20. Yeah. When we go back in the Discord late tonight before everything locks up tomorrow morning, because you live out on the West Coast time, that's still going to be early in the day for you. You're probably just get the middle of the college basketball game, to be honest with you. We'll probably talk, chop it up, and I'll probably give you like what I'm looking at for daily fantasy. And the last thing that I'll give out for daily fantasy before we close out the show is going to be Matthew Naismith. Me and Goji were both on this play because Matthew Naismith ranks 4th in greens to regulation this week, and he was my daily fantasy value play last year when this tournament happened. And off the top of my head, I don't think that he won the tournament, but I know he definitely 5x his value, and I cashed that week. And I'm playing Matthew Naismith because he's going to be under 10% ownership. Only people that subscribe for golf information would know Matthew Naismith is a good stat fit this week.
Yes, he was T16th. He was 9 under last year, so played well. Guys like Doug Gim, these guys have been playing well on this West Coast. Tom Hoagie, or whatever you call him, he was 12 under, 12th place alone last year. Guy who's playing well. I mean, just look for those type guys that are swinging it well, playing well, though maybe in the last few weeks. But
before
that's it.
Out of here, make sure you follow Conor Mac Picks because he has an NCAA show. And to be honest with you, Connor, the sheriff has been in hiding, and the sheriff is coming back out today, Connor. And I know that, you know, things work out in the day where we're fucking busy. I'm telling everybody that is watching this video 38 minutes in, if you're in the Discord, I am tailing the levels play of the day from my boy Tone Miggins. It is the first college basketball game of the day. It is only available on Fanduel Sportsbook. This bet, some people are going to bet the other side full game. I think that could be the right bet. The bet that I'm betting will be the levels play of the day. Florida Gators team total first half over 32.5. I got at minus 118 on FanDuel. I tailed Tone on it. I have a quarter unit to make a quarter unit on that, and that's going to be a quarter into my bankroll before all the games start today. If you want to watch Connor's NCAA show today, make sure you tune in at Pub Sports Radio. If you would like to see what golf picks that we are both on, you can follow me over on Twitter at BillyBrizzDFS. You can follow Connor over on Twitter at Conor Mac Picks.
Yep, sounds good. Let's get out of here, brother.
Let's get it, because I got to smoke, Connor. I ain't smoke all day. That's why I'm in all antsy, man. I usually